Hi, everybody. This is Brandon, also known as Super Fanboy Guy, and thank you for coming to my first YouTube stream. For everybody who's joining right now, I just want to say that if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, and we hope you enjoy the content that we're going to provide you tonight. And so, what I decided to do tonight was there was an old game from 2004 to 2008 called Versus System. And it's a game that's been a big part of my entire life. And I wanted to show, because recently with everything going on in the pandemic, we had a resurgence in players from a Facebook group called the Versus System Collective. And a lot of people are selling a bunch of cards that were normally hard to find. And all of a sudden, people are starting to get back into the game. So I kind of wanted to create some content for my YouTube channel for this game. And what we're pretty much going to do tonight, my buddy Alessandro is here with me, and we're going to play a couple of games. One game is going to be kind of like an introductory game to kind of show people, the rules a little bit, but I'm also going to go over the rules here in a little bit to kind of, get people involved with the game, essentially. And so pretty much the objective of the game is you have what's called 50 endurance, and you're trying to get your opponent down to 0. And how you do that is you have certain character cards that have like attack numbers that deal damage to your opponent. So it's a little similar to Magic the Gathering if you played it a little bit. But, this game is a little bit more, for lack of a better term, balanced than Magic. And it's just, I met so many great people with this game, and I kind of want to share that love with everybody out on the internet now. So what I'm going to do first is also to tell everybody that I did a previous video. It was my Versus System live stream announcement video. And what we're going to do later today is we're going to have a giveaway. I have a couple of prizes right here next to me. In a box, we're going to give away some starter decks, some booster packs of the game. So if you want to, leave a comment and subscribe to the channel, and you'll get automatically into the drawing. And we'll do that a little bit later tonight. Maybe after the first game. I haven't quite decided yet. But without further ado, let's just kind of go over the basics of the gameplay. And so how you begin the game is you have 4 different types of cards. Your first type of card is character cards. The second card is plot twist cards. Then you have location cards and equipment cards. Now, the character cards are pretty much your creature cards in Magic the Gathering. They're the ones that are going to be attacking your opponent and dealing damage from that 50 endurance total. Plot twists are kind of like your instants and sorceries in Magic. Your locations are kind of like enchantments. They stay on the field until an opponent plays a card that destroys it. And then you have equipment cards, which are pretty much equipments that go onto the character cards. And so those are the 4 basic types of cards that you'll be playing with. And so this image right here is to show you what the field looks like. You have your deck that has 60 cards. You have a KO pile, which, all the cards you use, that's where they go. You have a front row of characters that you get to place up there. You also have a support row of characters. That's another area where characters are placed. And you have a resource row that this is where your plot twists and locations mainly go. And then there's certain characters that have an ability called Reservists, which we'll get to a little bit later. But those kind of cards would be the area that goes down here. Okay, and speaking of the character cards, let's kind of just go over them really quick. So the character cards, there's some examples right here. Now, the character cards, they have different numbers that you notice that are printed on them. And pretty much these printed numbers have different meanings. So the number on the top left corner there is called the recruit cost. And what the recruit cost is every turn, you're able to take 1 card from your hand and play it into your resource row. You then gain resource points equal to the number of cards in your resource row. So for an example, on your first turn, you play 1 card from your resource row face down, and you're able to play a character that costs 1. So the Mastermind card on the far left is something you could play on turn 1. And each turn you get to play another one. So your next turn you play another resource row, so you have 2. So you'll be able to cast, for an example, the Electro card that's shown here on the screen. And so that's kind of what recruit cost means, or what it does. Okay, so the other number on character cards is called the attack value. And the attack value is shown by that yellow or orange number, whatever you want to call it, that is kind of like near the bottom, as you can see. Pretty much this is the attack number that they deal to other opposing characters that you have on the field. And it also, if your opponent, for an example, doesn't have any characters on the field, and let's say I have an Electro card, and my opponent has no character cards, if I attack my opponent with Electro, I am going to deal 2 damage to him, which means his total life total will be at 48 from 50. And then the bottom number is called the defense value. And this is pretty much the number that when you're attacking a character in the game, you subtract, you try to beat that number to try to essentially what's called stun your character. And, you know, try to pretty much take out the character that's on the field. And again, we'll do a gameplay video in a little bit that'll kind of, you know, explain a little bit more about that. But that's the defense value. And then the other thing you have on character cards is called team affiliations. And what a team affiliation is there's certain effects that say, you know, if all your characters, for an example, are X-Men cards, you get this. Or there's another ability called team attacking where you combine all of your characters' attack power, as long as they're the same team, to attack one character, for an example. And we'll kind of discuss a little bit more about this in the gameplay video. And there's another ability that when 2 of your characters are adjacent to each other that have the same team, the support row character gives the front row character reinforcement. I know it's kind of hard to show right now, but again, once we get to the gameplay video, it'll be a little easier. And then the other characteristic on character cards, is range and flight. Now, what range and flight means is that if a character has range, they can attack from the support row, and if they have flight, they can attack protected characters in the support row. And if they have both, like the Jean Grey, that means they can attack any character no matter what. So just to kind of show an example about that. So the Electro, any character in the front row can attack any character that is visible or is on the field. But as you can see, the Submariner with flight cannot attack from the support row because he needs range, and he doesn't have that. Now if the Submariner is in the front row, he can still attack, but he can attack protected support row characters. But again, we'll get a little more detail into that. And then the Electro with range can attack from the support row since he has range. Okay, so going back to character cards for a second, there are character cards that have an ability called Reservist. And what Reservist is that you can recruit, or recruit in this term means play the card. You can recruit the card from your resource row. If you do, you have to place one card from your hand face down in your resource row. And normally, because if they don't have reservists and they're in your resource row, you can't recruit them. So that's pretty much what reservist means. Okay, so some characters also have an ability called Concealed. The Luke Cage on the left side has Concealed, which means that when they come into play, they come into play in the front row, the support row, in what's called the concealed area or the hidden area. And I just put the picture of the domino here just as an example because they kind of changed the layouts of the characters as newer sets came to the game. And so you can see the domino has like a little moon towards her team affiliation, and that just shows you that she's concealed. And to show you a better example is concealed characters, so they go into the hidden area. And so what the hidden area means is that characters in the hidden area can attack other characters, but your opponent's characters cannot attack the hidden characters. And again, we'll talk more about it as we get the game plays going here. Okay, so the turn sequence of the game goes as follows. So you have what's called your draw phase when you're starting the game. And the draw phase is each player draws 2 cards. After that, you have the build phase, and this is divided into 3 sub-phases. The first one is your resource step. And the resource step is where you place 1 card from your hand into the resource row face down. And this is where you gain resource points to play your character cards. After that, you have what's called the recruit step. And actually, I was kind of wrong before. This is where you gain the resource points. It's not during the resource step. It's during the recruit step. So my apologies. But the recruit step is where you gain resource points equal to the number of cards in your resource row. So if you play 1 face down, you now have 1 resource point. You gain 1 resource point. And then your next turn, if you play a second resources, so you have 2 resources, you gain 2 resource points. And then you have your formation step where you can move any number of characters you control to any position in your front row or support row. And then so this is where we come into the combat phase. Combat phase has your attack step where you get to start attacking with characters on opposing characters. And all players get an attack step, but the player who has the initiative goes first. Now, what the initiative means is before you start the game, you either roll a dice or flip a coin to decide who goes first. And the person that has the initiative is the person that decides, they get to have the first actions of the turn. And then once the turn's over, the initiative goes to the other player. And then they get the first action to do something, essentially. And then characters that are defeated in combat are stunned. And pretty much what it's stunned is they turn face down. And, it's like their abilities are no longer available on the field, essentially. And so the next phase after that is the recovery phase, which players may recover 1 stunned character per turn. So if you have 2 stunned characters, you can only recover 1 of them. So that means you'd be losing a card and it would go to the KO pile. So that's pretty much the gist of everything. So I know it's some of the rules kind of don't, everything probably is like, oh my gosh, what's going on? But we're actually going to do a gameplay video right now. Me and Alessandro are going to play a game, and I am going to show you what we will be playing now. And so when I decided to do this first kind of introductory video, I wanted to do some simple decks that were pretty basic and, easy for people to maybe understand what everything does. So let's go ahead and show you the decks that we'll be playing today. And so Alessandro is going to be playing what's called the Avengers Reservist deck. Now, as I mentioned, Reservist is an ability where you can recruit characters from your resource row. And pretty much, this deck has 47 characters. And that's really not really usual for a deck to have that many character cards. But the fact that these characters have a bunch of different effects kind of pretty much, make it so that playing 47 characters is pretty good. So let's go over the characters really quick. So for the 1-cost characters, we have Iron Fist, Secret Avenger. And what he does is when he enters play, you rally for a character card. Now, what rally is you look at the top card of your deck, and if it's a character card, you get to put it into your hand. And so pretty much it could be like an extra card draw. Just an extra card in your hand. And the card on the right is Rick Jones, a hero's best friend. He is Reservist Concealed, and he has an ability that you may discard an Avengers character card rather than pay his recruit cost. And then he has a activate. Activate means you have to pretty much tap him in Magic, or it means like turn him sideways. And then you get to return him to his owner's hand, and target defender you control has reinforcement this attack. Now, what reinforcement means is any damage they take, they just take their recruit cost. So for an example, if Iron Fist has reinforcement, he only takes 1 damage total. Okay, so for the 2 cost characters, we're going to run 4 copies of Captain America the Patriot Secret Avenger. He's also a reservist, just like all the characters in the deck. And when he enters play, rally for a character card. If you're successful, put a +1/+1 counter on each character you control. Now, he's a really good character if you want to play late in the game and you have a bunch of characters that pretty much are on the field, so you can give them a boost, essentially. So, because there could be times in the game like you have 5 resource points and you don't have a 5-cost card. Well, he kind of helps, make up that difference, and it can put the game in your favor in that way. And then next we have Echo Ronin, who is a Secret Avenger. If you would rally Echo into your hand, instead you may put into play if you don't control another character named Echo. So if you don't control her, she comes into play for free. And since, like for an example, let's say you have that 1-drop Iron Fist, you play it, you rally for her, well, you got a 2-drop on turn 1, which is pretty decent. And then the next card that we run 2 of is Hawkeye Ronin, Secret Avenger. When he enters play, you rally for a character card. If you're successful, you can KO target character with cost 1 or less. Now, usually you want to KO one of your opponent's cards, but you can also KO one of your cards since it doesn't specifically say opponent or one of your cards. And then we also have 4 copies of Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow. She pretty much has an ability where if she's team attacking, if she stuns a character, she can stun a character with cost 3 or less if she's team attacking. And like I said, in order for her to team attack, she needs to have she pretty much needs to have, they all have to have the same team affiliation. So in this case, they all have to be Avengers since she is an Avengers card. Okay, so for the 3-cost characters, we run 3 copies of Black Panther T'Challa. He's a reservist concealed, and then when he comes into play, you can reveal any number of face-down resources you control, and you get to put a +1/+1 counter on him, which means +1 attack and +1 defense. For each reservist you revealed. So he can become a 7/6 on turn 3, which is pretty decent. And then the Quicksilver we run 4 copies of, and whenever whenever a defender, so when he attacks, becomes stunned by 1 or more team attackers you control, you get to ready him. So you get to ready him means he can go in for another attack, essentially. Okay, so for 4-cost characters, we run 4 copies of Carol Danvers, Warbird, Galactic Adventurer. And what she does is when she's team attacking, whenever she stuns a defender with cost 5 or less, you get to return that card to your hand. And then the Hawkeye, Clinton Barton, he has an ability where you activate him, which means turn him sideways, which you'll kind of see a better picture of it when we get to the gameplay. You get to stun any number of target characters with cost 2 or less. And then for the 5-cost characters, we run She-Hulk, Gamma Bombshell. And she has an ability that says replace a reservist resource you control. She-Hulk has invulnerability. This attack uses only once per turn. And what invulnerability is if she gets stunned, she does not take the stun damage, which is her recruit cost, of 5. So could be kind of helpful in some situations. And then we run 2 copies of the Submariner Namor. And what he does is he has an ability called Leader. And a character that's a leader usually gives other bonuses to characters surrounding him or adjacent to him. And so what he does is characters adjacent to him get +1 attack. And then whenever a character adjacent to Submariner stuns a character during the combat phase, you may replace a resource you control. So it could be helpful in some situations. Okay, so one of my favorite cards of the deck is the 6-cost Wonder Man Simon Williams, which we run 4 copies of. And when he comes to play, you may reveal 5 face-down resources you control. You may stun target character if its cost is less than the number of reservist cards you revealed. So essentially, you can reveal 5 cards and stun a 4-drop, which, it's definitely been a signature card in the game for a while, in my opinion. And so, yeah, we just run 4 copies of him. And for the last of the characters, we're going to run, for our 7-drop, we're running Hercules, Son of Zeus. And what he does is you get to reveal 3 face-down reservist resources you control. And then you get the ready Hercules. And he can't cause breakthrough while attacking characters this turn, and you can only use it once per turn. Okay, so for the plot twist cards, we play 2 legendary battles. I'm sorry. Oh, that's actually a typo. This is supposed to be 2 costs, not 1 cost. So there are 2 costs. My bad. Okay, so for the 2s, we run 3 legendary battles, and what this does is while team attacking this turn, Avenger characters you control get +1 attack and cannot be stunned, which could be really useful in some situations. Like you have the Black Widow that can team attack, and if she can't be stunned, she can stun another character, and yeah, it can be pretty good. And if you're trying to attack a big card or something like that, a big character card. And we play 3 copies of the big 3. And target Avengers character gets +2 attack while attacking this turn. And then the boost is you get to replace 2 reservist resources you control. Up to 2 other Avengers characters you control get +2 attack while attacking this turn. Okay, whoops. Okay, and I think I forgot to add a picture, so let's just go back to the other deck really quick. Okay, so the other cards that I accidentally missed in here is the card Call Down the Lightning, that's the 1-drop. And what that does is to target Avengers attacker you control gets +3 attack while attacking, and then you can replace a reservist resource you control, and then they will get +3 defense as well. And then the other card that's right next to it, Heroes in Reserve. And that, again, another 1-cost plot twist. What that does is target Avengers attacker or defender you control gets +X attack, where X is equal to the number of face-down reservist resources you control. So, again, could be good on the offense or the defense, depending on, what game state you're in. If you need to push the extra damage to hopefully win the game, then it could be worth it. But anyway, so that is the Avengers Reservist deck that Alessandro is going to be playing. So we're going to now go to the deck that I'm going to be playing, which is called the Injustice Gang Concealed Beats, or Injustice Gang Concealed, as it's also called. So this deck has all concealed character cards, which means they cannot be attacked by other character cards. Now, the disadvantage of that is, since they can't attack your characters, you have no visible characters, so your opponent's characters can attack you directly. That's the downside of them not being able to attack your concealed characters. And so this deck is pretty much a very aggressive deck. It wants to win by turn 4 or turn 5 or maybe even turn 3 at some point, but it's a very fast, heavy punch aggro deck. It just is like, yeah, I kill you fast, pretty much. So we're gonna go over those cards really quick. So the 1-cost characters are Catwoman, Cat of Nine Tails, and the Penguin, Gentleman of Crime. We run 4 copies of each. Catwoman, when she attacks a player directly, you gain 2 endurance. Pretty generic. Penguin, whenever the Penguin attacks a player directly, each player draws a card. Now, why would you want your other player to draw a card? Like, why would you want to give him a hand advantage? Well, the reason why is because you have a lot of plot twists that deal big points of damage. So if you can draw those plot twists and try to end the game faster, then it's worth it. That's why Penguin is kind of good in that sense. Okay, so for the 2-cost characters, we run Johnny Quick, Earth 3, and Superwoman, Earth 3. 4 copies of Johnny Quick and 2 copies of Superwoman. While you don't have the initiative, Johnny Quick can't be stunned while attacking. And Superwoman gets +3 attack while you don't have the initiative. And so, again, a lot of the not again, but a lot of the characters in the deck have, in this deck, gain certain abilities when you don't have the initiative. So most of it is like, you get an extra attack, extra defense, that kind of stuff. And we'll kind of see more of those characters as we continue here. Okay, so for the 3-cost characters, we run Owlman Earth 3, and his ability, other characters you control get +1 attack and +1 defense while you don't have the initiative. And again, a lot of these characters trying to just push for damage and kill your opponent as fast as you can. So that's kind of like the idea of this deck. Okay, so for the 4-cost characters, we run 1 David Clinton Kronos, 1 Gem, Son of Saturn, and 4 copies of Ultraman Earth 3. And so David Clinton, he's the only visible character that we run in the deck because he has an ability, you discard an Injustice Gang character card, and target opponent gains the initiative at the start of the combat phase this turn, used only during the build phase. So it's another way for your opponent to gain the initiative so that, you can get your power-ups from all your other characters. Okay, and Gem is pretty much the recruitment. You discard a character card with Concealed, but he's a 9/8, and again, another big powerhouse you just want to have on the field. The pushing for the big damage and things like that. Ultraman, what he does is while you don't have the initiative, you don't take stun endurance loss from attackers you control, becoming stunned. So stun damage, again, is when you get stunned, you take the recruit cost damage, plus any other difference in damage from breakthrough, which we'll talk a little bit more later. And then kind of concluding with the characters is our 5-cost characters, which is White Martian Earth 3. And what he does is other Injustice Gang characters you control get +2 attack while you don't have the initiative. Again, another card that benefits you from not having the initiative. And so now we're going to go to the plot twist cards, which the plot twist cards are pretty much just these are pretty generic cards. So we have 4 copies of Crackshot, which is target character gets +3 attack while attacking this turn and has range this turn. And then Flying Kick is exactly the same card, except it gives them flight instead of range and, still gives them +3 attack. All right, Mega Blast, which is 4 copies of. Target support row character has range this turn, and while attacking, it gets +4 attack. And again, in this deck, we want all of our plot twists to maximize the most damage that we can. So we want to play all the cards that we can try to, get the most damage out of. Okay, so for the 2-cost plot twist, we play Secret Files with 4 copies. And what this does, you can only play it if you control an Injustice Gang character, which all of our characters are Injustice Gang, so no problem. So what this does is each player in turn searches his deck for an affiliated character card, reveals it, and puts it into their hand. Yes, it does help your opponent out, but the thing with this card is you're going so aggressive against their life total or their endurance total that you want to try to kill them as fast as you can. So you want to make sure to hit all of your cards as well as you can. And then you just want to keep pushing in for that extra damage. Okay, so for the 3-cost plot twist, we run 4 copies of All Too Easy. And what this does is target Injustice Gang attacker you control gets +1/-1 this attack for each card in target opponent's hands. And pretty much I've been able to deal 10 damage with this card because my opponents in the past have played decks where they just draw a bunch of cards and their hand builds up, and I was able to push for the extra damage with this card. So that's what this one does. And then the next card, Big Leagues, which we run 3 of, is if all characters you control share at least 1 affiliation, target attacker you control gets +4 attack. And I might think about putting 4 of these in the deck. I just decided to put 3 for now because I think I didn't have an extra Big Leagues or something like that. So that's why I'm using only 3 of those. And then we have Blinding Rage, which is 4 copies. And target attacker you control gets +4/-4 this attack. So, yeah, pretty generic plot twist overall. And then the big card that we run in our deck, which is a signature card in the game as well, is called Savage Beatdown. And what this does is target attacker gets +5 attack this attack, and run 4 copies, because again, like I said, we're an aggressive deck, so we're trying to push for damage here. And, that's what we want to try to do, is beat our opponent as fast as we can. So that is pretty much the Injustice Gang Concealed beats. And we're going to go ahead and get stuff set up, and then we'll be back in probably about a couple minutes. So we'll see you then. Okay, we are back, and I'm just fixing some stuff up here really quick. Okay, so what we do is we have our endurance right here, and we're going to take this one kind of slow because we want to make sure that people understand how to play the game. So we got Alessandro. Say hi to the people, Alessandro.
Hi guys, how are you?
All right, so what we do is we start the game with shuffle our decks. Okay, offer the cut. All right, go ahead and cut. Okay, so when we start the game, what we're going to do is we're going to each draw 4 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now what you do is you take a look at your hand, and if you don't like actually before that, we should probably decide who goes first, right?
Right.
Now, usually we're going to decide who takes the initiative first, and normally you can, roll a dice, flip a coin, but for this tutorial, let me just go first so I can show people how to do it. And we're going to use this coin right here that shows who has the initiative first. So I will choose that, and I'll start the initiative. So then you draw your 4 cards. And then what you decide to do is you can decide to do what's called a mulligan. And when you do a mulligan, you take the 4 cards that you have in your hand and you place them on the bottom of your deck, and you draw 4 new cards, and that's all you get. So you only get 1 mulligan each during the game. And in this instance, I am going to choose to take a mulligan. So I'm going to put the cards from my deck to the bottom, and I'm going to draw 4 cards, 4 new cards. And Alessandro, are you going to keep your hand?
I'm going to try it.
Okay, so he decides to keep his hand. Now, again, we're using this coin to show that I have the initiative. So since we're both ready, we go to our draw phase. And when we go to the draw phase, we each draw 2 cards. Okay, so now we enter what's called the build phase. And in the build phase, you have 3 steps, the resource step, the recruit step, and the formation step. So since I have the initiative first, I go first. So I'm going to take 1 card from my hand and place it face down in my resource row. So now I can play essentially characters that cost 1 or less in my hand. And unfortunately, I don't have any. So I would recruit a character. I can put it in the front row, the support row. But, I don't have anything, so it's Alessandro's turn. So he gets his build phase now, so he can play 1 card. And then he actually has a 1 drop, so he gains 1 resource point, and he plays Iron Fist. So what he does is his effect comes into play. He gets to rally for a character card, so he reveals, and it's not a character card, so it goes at the bottom of his deck. And so, okay, so now he comes to this formation step. He can choose to move his Iron Fist in either the front row or the support row. What do you decide to do?
I'm going to keep it right where it's at.
Okay. So now we decide to go to the attack step. And if I had characters, I can decide to attack him, but since I don't, I can't do anything. So now Alessandro does get an attack step. And so he declares an attack into me, and then he does what's called exhausting him. And when he exhausts him, when he declares attack, it's just to show that he's attacking. So, as you can see right here, he has a 2 right there. So that means he is going to deal 2 points of damage to my 50 endurance. And since I have no characters to block it, I'm going to take a total of 2 damage. So I am going to go to 48. So, okay, so now what we do is we go, now since combat's over, we go to the recovery phase. And the recovery phase is you take all your characters and you put them back into the ready position. And then you get to recover any stunned characters we have that you have, but we have none right now. So now what happens is we begin the turn again, and this time Alessandro gets the initiative. So we go to our draw step, we both draw 2 cards. And then he now goes to his build phase. So he gets his resource step, which means he puts a card from his hand in his resource row. So now he can play characters that cost 2 or 2 1s, whatever way he wants to do it. And in this case, he has the Echo Ronin for 2 drop, and now goes to his formation step. Now he could decide to put this card, since it has range, into the back row, because characters with range can attack from the back row. So now he forms and he decides to put it there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my resources and put it face down. And I have no 2 drops, so I'm going to take some damage this turn. So now Al gets his attack step, where he can attack me directly since I have no characters. Okay, so he's going to deal the 2 damage to me. So I go to 46. And then he attacks me directly for 2. So I take 2 more damage, and I'm at 44. And so now we go to our recovery phase. We ready our characters. And we draw 2 more cards. And now I have the initiative this time. So it's my turn to act first. So I'm going to play a card from my hand. So now I have 3. So now I'm going to play the Owlman. And he's concealed. So, okay, Al, I guess it's your turn. Okay, so he plays Quicksilver, which is a good card. Okay, so now since we have some characters on the field, I'm gonna actually be able to show you how attacking characters works. So, is that your formation now?
Yes.
Okay. So now what I'm gonna do is I get my attack step. So now since there's characters on this side of the field and I have a character, I'm going to decide before you attack a player directly, you have to go through essentially his characters. So what I'm going to do is I am going to have Owlman declare an attack into Iron Fist. Now, at this point, before you exhaust him to declare the attack, your opponent has to agree that the attack is legal because they may play a card that could maybe exhaust him so I don't get to attack. So this is where I say I declare the attack and my opponent says if it's legal. Then if it's legal, I will tap him, make him exhausted to attack him essentially. So let's kind of go back. So all right, my attack step. I'm going to declare an attack into Iron Fist.
Attack is legal.
Okay, he says the attack is legal, and I go ahead and tap him to show that he's attacking. Okay, so when a character attacks another character, you look at your attack number, which in this case it's a 5. You compare that to their defense value, which in this case is 1. So you do 5 minus 1, which is 4. So that difference in damage is called breakthrough. Plus 1 is 5. So that means he's going to be taking 5 damage total, technically. So now what Alessandro can do is, since he has an Avengers character here and an Avengers character here, he can do what's called reinforcement. And what reinforcement is if a character in a support row has the same team affiliation as the character that is protecting him, he can turn him sideways and say he has reinforcement, which means he only takes 1 damage instead of that extra difference in damage of that breakthrough damage of 4. So he can decide to take 5 or 1 right now. So going back to the game. So I'm going to declare an attack, and you said the attack is legal. So now what I could do is I can try to play my plot twist cards that maybe add my attack or add my defense or something, but I'm going to choose not to do it. So I do what's called I pass priority. So then Al is going to take his turn, and he's going to decide to tap this card sideways to give him reinforcement. So now he's only going to take 1 damage. And when the character goes face down like this is what's known as your character being stunned. And like I said earlier on the stream, you're allowed to recover 1 stun character per turn. So he's going to be able to recover that character card during the recovery phase. And so I have nothing else to do, so now Al's attack step.
Doing attacking to you.
Okay, attack is legal. And I have now, since I have a concealed character, they're concealed in the hidden area, so that means he pretty much he ignores this character completely, so he attacks me directly for 4. So I take 4, I am at 40, and we go to recovery phase?
Yep.
Okay, so he goes to recovery phase, he's allowed to recover 1 stun character, and I go to my recovery phase, and now it's his initiative. So he goes, and we both draw 2. Okay, now he plays a 4. You curved out really nicely.
Yes,
this is a very good curve because he played a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. Okay, so he plays the Hawkeye there, and you get your formation step. So he decides to move Hawkeye to the support row. Okay, so now I'm going to play resource, so I have 4 resource points, and I'm going to use my 4 resource points to play my 4-drop Ultraman in the concealed area. And so he goes there. And my formation step, I'll decide since he has flight and range, I'll decide to put him there. So, Alessandro, it's your attack.
Let's see here. Just making sure there's nothing I can do right now first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
While you're doing that, I'm going to take a water break. Okay, he's going to declare an attack directly with Iron Fist, and I say the attack is legal.
So 2
So I'm going to take 2 points of damage, putting me to 38.
plus another 2.
Alright, so 2 more damage. I'll take that. I'm at 36. Alright, I will take 4 more damage. They go to 32.
Might as well.
And then he has 8 attack. He attacks me directly. So I take 8 and I go to 24. Okay, so my attack.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're going to use some dice here. So, Owlman has an ability that other characters I control get +1/+1 while I don't have the initiative. And since I don't have the initiative, this Ultraman becomes an 8/8. And so what I'm going to do is, I'm at 24 and he's at 49, and I want to deal the most damage I can because that's what this deck does. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Ultraman declare an attack into Iron Fist.
Attack's legal.
So he says the attack's legal, and I go directly at him. And I'm an 8 attack, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be the first one to activate a plot twist. And the plot twist that I'm going to activate is Savage Beatdown. Now, how you activate a plot twist, you don't need to pay resource points like character cards, and you don't have to pay resource points for the location cards, the green cards that I showed earlier. All this means is you need to have at least 4 resources or more in your resource row to play it. That's all that it means. And since I have 4 resources right now, I can play Savage Beatdown. So what I do, so when you play a card from your resource row, all you do is flip it up, and you activate the effect, whatever it is. In this case, it says target attacker gets +5 attack. And we usually just use some kind of dice to show that he gets the attacks. So I will get... So we usually use a dice or something to show that he gets +5. So he's going to get +5 attack. Now, I still can play plot twist before he is stunned. So I'm actually going to play another one called Mega Blast. So this is the one that gives him range and +4 attack if he's in the support row. So I'll use another dice to show that it's +4 attack. Now what I'll do is I have another Mega Blast, which I forgot, that only costs 1. So it only means you, like I said, you have to have that many resources out. So he will get another +4 attack. And then we're just going to go in with all the damage and play Flying Kick, which will give him another +3 attack. So we'll give him a 3 attack there. So the attack total is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 to his 1 defense. So 24 minus 1 is 23, plus 1 more is 24. So Al, take 24 damage.
Shoot.
Okay, so that puts you at 25. Okay, since we already did that, we can take these off. Okay, so now Owlman is going to declare an attack into Echo.
Attack's legal.
Alright, turn him sideways. And okay, so this is where I ask, how many cards are in your hand, sir?
4.
4? Okay, so I'm not going to do anything.
Sure. I got nothing.
So you're going to play anything? Nope. Okay, so 5 minus the 3 defense is 2, plus 2 is 4, so he takes 4 more damage. And his character is stunned. Alright, recovery?
Yep.
Okay, so now since he has 2 stunned characters, he can only keep 1 of them, so that means he loses a character. Okay, and I ready my 2 characters. And so now I have the initiative, so I'll be the first to act and draw 2. Okay, I'll play a resource face down, and I will play my 5-drop White Martian, and I will form it like that. It is your turn.
Okay.
So now he'll play his resource row, or play a resource in his resource row.
Okay. So I'm gonna do this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're gonna recruit Okay, so he's gonna recruit a reservist. So he pays 2, and he's gonna put a card from his hand in his resource row. Now, since he spent 2 of his resource points, he still has 3 more, so he can place a character that costs 3 or less. Okay, so 1. So he's got to put there. Okay, so his effect that when he comes to play, he rallies for a character card, and he gets a character card, so it goes to his hand. So he has 1 resource point left over.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do my formation.
Okay, so he's going to go to this formation. Okay, so he decides to form like that. So it goes to my attack. And I am going to have Ultraman declare an attack in the Black Widow.
Attack's legal.
Okay, so I turn sideways to show that he's attacking.
Okay.
Okay, so I choose to do nothing.
Okay.
So what he can do is he can exhaust his Hawkeye, since it's Avengers and she's an Avenger, to give her reinforcement. But this is kind of odd because he may want to keep him up to try to attack me. So he has to think to himself, do I want to try to reinforce, or can I push for big damage during my attack still? So that's what he's thinking right
I'll go ahead and take it.
now. Okay, so 7 minus 2 is 5, plus 2 is 7. So you take 7. So you go to 14. Okay, next I'm going to have Owlman attack Iron Fist.
Attack's legal.
Alright, attack is legal. Turn my card sideways. And I will choose to do nothing. Okay, so he decides to reinforce because they're the same team. So instead of taking the breakthrough here, he's going to only take 1 damage. So you're at 13. Okay, now my White Martian is going to attack your Hawkeye.
Awesome.
And the reason, so I should also mention that, so this Quicksilver is protecting him. So Owlman could not attack Quicksilver Owlman could not attack here because he doesn't have flight. Characters with flight can attack support row characters if they're protected. This is him protecting him. But since this White Martian has flight and range, he can attack that Hawkeye. So I just wanted to make that clear.
Well, darn. Okay, I'll take it.
Well, attack is legal, right?
Yes.
Okay, attack is legal. Okay, so I will play Savage Beatdown. That gives me +5 attack. And then I will play. Do you have any response to my Savage Beatdown?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, the reason why I said, does he have any response? There are cards that say in this game that, negate this card or something like that. Or negate an effect from a non-ongoing plot twist. So he decides, okay, so he gets +5 attack. And how many cards do you have?
4.
Okay, so he has 4 cards in his hand. So I am going to play All Too Easy. And by the way, I also forgot to mention that you can play plot twists from your hand. They don't necessarily need to be in your resource row, too. So you can play them from either or. Okay, so you have 4. So he's going to get +4 and -4. So +4 and -4, he gets +4 attack and -4 defense. So since I have a 4 defense to your 8 attack, you're still going to hit me back. The only difference is when you're attacking and you get hit back, you only take the stun damage and you don't take the difference in damage, the breakthrough. You only do breakthrough if you're the attacker. So, okay, and then I am also going to play Blinding Rage, which is going to give me +4 more attack. So I will get +4 more attack there. So my total power is 10, 15, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And once you play plot twist cards from your hand, they go to your KO pile. So that's our KO pile for this. And so 23 minus 5 is 18, plus 4 is 22. So in this game, you do go to negative life. So you go to 20. You take 22. So So I think that's -9. Okay, so here's the thing. Even though his life total is below 50 endurance. Oh, by the way, he's stunned. And I'm sorry, I'm stunned too. I take 5. So I go to 19. Now, technically, in this game, you don't lose until the recovery phase. So that means he could still get another attack. So if I was like at 4 life, or maybe lower than that, if I was at a lower life to try to get lower to his endurance total, he could win the game in theory. So he could play a bunch of maybe pump spells to get me lower than him. But essentially during the recovery phase, whoever's at the lowest life loses the game. So, okay, Al, it's your attack.
Okay. So, Quicksilver.
Declares an attack?
Yep.
Okay, attack is legal, so go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, so what Al is doing here is he's doing what's called powering up. And what powering up is you can discard a card with the same name as a character you control. And pretty much what that does is they get +1/+1 just for this attack. So that's what he's doing. So he's going to do that for an extra point of damage. So I'm going to be taking 5 damage.
Okay. So I'm gonna play big 3.
Okay, are you paying the boost cost?
Play service.
Which probably you don't need to.
No.
Okay, so he's just gonna not pay the boost effect. So what that card does is, character gets +2 attack. Target Avengers. So that's 2 more attack that he's doing.
Okay. Then I'm gonna play Heroes in Reserve.
Okay.
1, 2.
Okay, so he's revealing 2 reservists, and he gets attack equal to the number of reservists he revealed. So that's 2 more attack.
Okay.
Okay, anything else? Another one. So he reveals the same 2 cards.
2.
So that's 2 more attack. We'll just make this a 4. Actually, we'll just make this a 6. If I can find it. There it is. Alright.
And that should do it.
Okay, so 11. I take 11. So I go to 9. Okay, so now what we do is we go to recovery phase. Alessandro is at 0 or lower, so he loses the game, and I say, good game, Alessandro. Alright, so that was the first game. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. How did you feel about it?
I didn't feel too bad about it.
Alright, cool. So let's go ahead and clean this up, and we're going to take a little break here, and we'll be back after that. Okay, everybody. I am back. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to give away 3 packs of Marvel Knights. Marvel Knights was the 3rd Marvel set. And I am going to give them to the 2 people, one of the 2 people that commented on my live announcement video. So, okay. So we're going to do it. So hold on 1 second. I just got to send up the random picker here. Okay. All right. So the winner of the 3 packs will be... Oh, I went to the wrong thing, so hold on. Of course. YouTube random comment picker. That's where I want to go. Okay. So let's do this really quick. All right. YouTube comment. Get YouTube comments. Okay. All right. Here we go. Random picker. And the winner is Boonda713. Nice. I'm actually going to tune. I haven't used my Big Brotherhood deck in years. Awesome. Well, I actually would like to know what that deck is. I'm pretty interested in it. But you are the winner of 3 Marvel Knights booster packs. So just send me a private message on YouTube, and we will send these out to you right away. So thanks a lot. Now, so Al, how many people we got in chat? We got 2. We got okay. So Alessandro right now is on the phone. He's on my phone checking the chat. So if you guys want me to raffle some other prizes in chat, give me some comments right now, and yeah, just let me know. I'll give a couple minutes to kind of make sure to see what everybody wants to do. So Al will check the comments for me. And
So, we gotta. If you're willing to answer a question, Brandon. Okay.
Oh, we got a question? Sure.
Yeah.
I'll take a question in the comment.
So Jordan asks, forgive me if you already said this, but is there a limit of how many cards you can have in your hand at any given time?
Oh, yes, that's right. We did forget that. So you're allowed to have there's no maximum hand size. So yeah, you can have as many cards as you want in your hands. There's really no restriction on that. So thank you for that question. Appreciate it. Do we get any comments if we're going to do a giveaway in the comments? Anybody say anything yet?
Not yet.
Okay. So you know what? What we'll do is while we wait for that and see if we can do a giveaway for the chat. But are we ready to do the grudge match here?
We are.
Okay. So here's the thing: is I kind of got Al into the game like a while back, and I think I got him in like during the time World's Finest was out or something like that. Yeah, so a lot of the deck that we decided to make for him to play the game was the Batman Superman deck, which is also known as the World's Finest deck.
Or Brave and the Bold.
No, Brave and the Bold's Teen Titans.
Oh, is it really?
Yes. Brave and the Bold is a Teen Titans deck, but so everybody who knows me knows that I'm a totally big Marvel fan, and anybody who knows me knows that Spider-Man is my favorite character of all time. I love Spider-Man since the animated series came out in, whatever it was, 94, I think. And I've just been in love with Spider-Man. And even though I have Spider-Man toys here, and I have another shelf up there, and, I couldn't get the Spider-Man backdrop, but so yeah, big Spider-Man fan. And what we do is we have what's called our grudge match, where Alessandro loves Superman and I love Spider-Man, so we always bicker about it to be like, oh, who's the better superhero? So we're gonna actually determine that now to see for the last game for the night. And he has what's called the World's Finest, which is a Gotham Knights and Team Superman deck, and I have a deck that's Spider Friends, which is Spider-Man, and we always kind of fight out to kind of see who will get the win for that one. So that's what we'll do is we'll do our grudge match. here in a little bit. And then Al's also going to come on the camera for a little bit to do a booster pack opening. You want to? Yeah, so I gave him a pack of Superman, so he's going to open the pack and see what he gets. So, nobody said anything in chat yet?
Not yet.
I guess you guys don't want any prizes then.
So.
Okay, well, how about this? Why don't I do the deck profiles, and then we'll kind of go from there.
I'll keep an eye on this for you.
Okay, so let's start with Al's deck, the world's finest deck. And so, yeah, I mean, I actually have a version of this deck myself, but when we made him this deck, we pretty much made... like there are some cards that can make this deck a lot better, but we just didn't have them available at the time. So we kind of made him a world's finest deck that pretty much, whatever we can get would be the best. So I'll kind of talk about a little bit about like what are some changes that you can do to make it better. But without further ado, this is the deck. Okay, so for the 1-cost characters, we play Alfred Pennyworth, Faithful Friend. We play 4 of them. And what he does is he comes into play exhausted. Activate, return Alfred Pennyworth to his owner's hand. Search your deck for a plot twist or an equipment card. Reveal it and put it into your hand. And you can only use it if you have another Gotham Knights character. And then the Lois Lane, the Earth 2-1. She's Team Superman. And I also did forget to mention, this is like the first deck that we're showing that is going to have 2 teams in it. So there's certain cards that you can do that you play to pretty much team them up to make sure that they're one team. But anyway, going back, so yeah, 2 copies of Lois Lane. And what she does is you may discard 2 cards to rather than pay her recruit cost. And then when she comes to play, you may search your deck for an Earth 2 character card or a card named Superman, reveal it, and put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. Now, what's really good about this card as we progress with the deck, you'll see that we have a lot of Superman cards. So there's like, for an example, a turn 5 Superman. So if you want to discard a card, instead of paying for a recruit cost, you can get the 5-drop Superman and then play him on turn 5 and not worry about spending resource points to play her. So that's kind of the reason why we play her. And then for the 2-drops, we have Tim Drake Robin, Titan in Command. And he's a Teen Titans and Gotham Knights, but Gotham Knights is the only team we care about. And whenever he team attacks, you may reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a plot twist card, you can put it in your hand. So going back for the rally mechanic we did in the last game with Al's Avengers deck, same idea, but instead of for characters, this is for plot twist. So, I mean, he's, pretty decent for what he's worth. I mean, 2-drop 3/3 is just good by itself. Sometimes when Al plays, he doesn't normally team attack. On occasion he does, but we might see some team attacks this game, and maybe you guys can get a better idea how it works. Okay, so for the 4-drops, well, wait a minute. This card doesn't have a cost on it, so how can it be a 4-drop? Well, what it is actually this Superman's a little bit different than most cards, and this is like one of Al's favorite cards too. So what he does is, okay, so he has an ability called Loyalty, which loyalty is you have to have a character of the same team affiliation out before you play this card. But what this one does, it has Loyalty Reveal. So what that means is you can either have another Team Superman on the field to play him, or what you could do is you can reveal one from your hand in addition, you can reveal another Team Superman, not this one in particular, but you can reveal another Team Superman and play him that way. And to recruit him, you have to pay 4 resource points. So what's really unique about this card, since he has no cost, he pretty much gets around a lot of effects that say, stun target character will cost 3 or less. Well, he doesn't have a cost, so he gets around that. And you'll kind of see with the Spider Friends deck that I'm going to show next, how he's kind of put dampers that deck a little bit.
And breakthrough on him too.
Oh yeah. Oh no, stun damage. That's right. Yeah. So thank you, Al. So when you stun him, you don't take stun damage too. So this card is just very powerful. And okay. So for the 5-drops, we play Superman, Man of Tomorrow. two of him, one Superman Metropolis Marvel, and one Wonder Woman Deflection Diva. Now, the reason why we are playing the Superman Man of Tomorrow and the Wonder Woman Deflection Diva, Al knows why, because we only had one Superman Metropolis Marvel at the time. So ideally this deck wants four of them, but we kind of just put some placeholders until we get them. So Superman Man of Tomorrow, what he does is he has invulnerability during your first attack and first defense each turn. So how do you get around that? You just don't make sure he's not the character you attack first, or he defends first. So that's how he kind of gets it. But I guess that doesn't make sense because you're going to be attacking with him first, so he gains the invulnerability. So that doesn't matter. Okay, so Superman Metropolis Marvel. Now he has loyalty, so you have to have another Team Superman out. And he gets +1/+1 for each opposing character, which is pretty ridiculous. And we've played multiplayer games where he's just gotten up to the ridiculous power, and he's just.
I think what it was a 25-25 by the
yeah
my combat phase.
Yeah, we got him up to a 25-25 one time. It was ridiculous, but. Okay, so Wonder Woman Deflection Diva, what she does is whenever Wonder Woman defends, you may exhaust her. If you do, remove all defenders from this attack, and another target Team Superman character you control becomes the defender. So let's say the Superman Metropolis Marvel is huge, and you happen to have these two out in the field. Let's say, for sake of argument, he's a 12/12, right? Well, you attack, and I attack one of your 1-drops, right? You can activate Wonder Woman, like, nope, you're attacking my Metropolis Marvel now. That's pretty much what she does. So, good replacement cards until we get the other Metropolis Marvel. So, yeah, that's the 5-drops. Okay, and the 6-cost characters. We have 2 Batman Cape and Cowl. And he's so he has concealed, but he has concealed optional. So, what that pretty much means is you can put him into the hidden or visible area. So yeah, I mean, decent effect, and pretty much he has a really interesting effect, which is opponents can't use payment powers if they haven't been used this turn, or if it has already been used this turn. So if you have like an activated like a payment power, that's something that says like pay 5 endurance, deal 5 damage to a player. Well, Superman could say, you can't use that power anymore. But in addition to that, you can. Did I say Superman or Batman?
You said Superman.
I meant Batman. Sorry. Okay, at least I corrected myself. So his other effect is you could discard a Gotham Knights character from your hand and negate the payment effect, and you can only use it once per turn. So you'll see with my Spider-Man deck that I have a couple of payment powers that I used, and usually this Batman is pretty rough around the edges against that. Okay, so now we're getting to the higher drops of the deck. So for the 7-cost characters, we play Superman Veteran Force. And again, he's a character with loyalty. He has an ability called Cosmic. And characters with Cosmic, what they do is when they enter play, they enter with a Cosmic counter. And when they get stunned, they lose that Cosmic counter. And as long as they have the Cosmic counter on them, they get a certain effect. So in the case of this one, his Cosmic effect is activate, target character can't attack this turn. So yeah, when you activate, you pretty much turn him, you exhaust him, and you use whatever the ability is. So target character can't attack, right? Well, yeah, he can attack, but there's been times where Alessandra's used that on like a big 8-drop that it was my attack, and he just activates this, and I can't attack with my big guy anymore. So, and even if you don't use it, he's still a 16/16. It's pretty decent for the most part. Okay, so for the 8-drops, this is Kara Zor-El, Supergirl, Claire Connors, and she is another character with Cosmic. And whenever she team attacks or becomes team attacked, you may stun target character that is not in combat. So she's really good at hitting like those concealed characters that you can't attack, any other kind of big threats that you're worried about. It makes it hard to team attack against her, and she's a 19/19, So that makes it really hard to try to get around that too. And this is kind of like a spicy, just a spicy card for that kind of stuff. But the more spicier card is this is actually something that Al wanted to play. This is his own like secret tech that he wanted to put in the deck, and he loves Superman, so why not play it? So this is the 9-drop Superman Bulletproof, and he's a 22/22 that pretty much can't be stunned. Like, that's it. 22/22. Flight and range, can't be stunned. Like, what else is there to say? Okay, so now we're going to go a little bit more detail in some of the other cards. The locations. Okay, Cadmus Labs is you activate it, so you turn it sideways. Cards named Superman are not unique this turn. And then replace Cadmus Labs. Target Superman gets a +1/+1 this attack. And so one rule that I forgot to mention about the game. So character cards are what some character cards are what we call unique. And what unique means is that, if you have a Batman, if you play like a 3-drop Batman and then you play a 4-drop Batman next turn, well, you can only have one character named Batman on the field. So that's what the unique rule is. This card gets around the uniqueness rule of Superman when you activate it. So let's say you play that Last Son of Krypton, that no-drop Superman on turn 4, and turn 5 you have Cadmus Labs and you flip it up and activate it. Well, that means you can play the 5-drop Metropolis Marvel without KOing the no-drop Superman that you played. So that's why this card is really good, and we run 4 copies of it. So this is the only location that you really need to run in the deck. And next, for the 1-cost plot twist, we play Bat Signal. To play, exhaust a Gotham Knights character you control. So again, exhaust means turn them sideways so they don't get to attack or anything like that. You search your deck for a Gotham Knights character, reveal it, and put it in your hand. That's pretty simple as that. And then the next one, we have the 2-cost plot twist cards. Bat Got Your Tongue. We run 3 of those. To play, exhaust the Gotham Knights character you control. You negate target effect from a non-ongoing plot twist. So like I was mentioning in the last game with the Savage Beatdown card, the one that gives +5 attack to an attacker, this would be an instance where Al probably wish he had that card so he can negate it. So that's kind of what Gotham Knights, they're really known for, is negating plot twist cards and non-ongoing plot twists. Because ongoing plot twist cards are cards that like stay in your resource throne and they have like a continuous effect. They just stay in throughout the entire game. So I forgot to also mention that too, but we have an example of an ongoing plot twist later on. So, okay, so then the next one we run is Scree. We run 3 copies of that. And this is target character gets -2 defense while defending this turn and can be attacked as though it were visible this turn. So you play this on the concealed cards like we played in the last game. Well, now they can be attacked with this card. That's pretty much what it does. And so the next cards that we have are the 3-cost plot twist cards. So we run 2 copies of Best of the Best. You may return a ready character you control named Batman or Superman to its owner's hand. If you do, target character can attack this turn. And this is really good in combination with, like I mentioned before, if you have the 4-drop or the no-drop Superman out, but you don't have Cadmus Labs to make, him non-unique, and you want to play the 5-drop Superman, normally the unique rule happens, but with this you can return the no-drop Superman back to your hand, and then you can play the 5-drop without losing anybody, essentially. So the next plot twist is Brains and Brawn. Play only if you control Batman and Superman. Recover target stun character you control named Batman or Superman. So a nice way to pretty much, get a free recovery. That you get to recover somebody for 3 so you don't get to lose them during the recovery phase. And this card you can play whenever you want. So it doesn't have to be during the recovery phase, for example. So the next card is Soaring to New Heights. It is 4 copies. And what this does, target Team Superman attacker you control gets +3 defense as attack and also gets +3 defense if you control Superman. So pretty generic card, nothing else. Okay, so now we have our first ongoing plot twist that we're showing, and it's called the Hookup. And to play this, you have to choose 2 different team affiliations among characters you control. So you have to have Gotham Knights and Team Superman in this instance. And you get to cross over those affiliations, which means they both have Team Superman or Gotham Knights and vice versa. And it also has an additional effect where you can discard a Gotham Knights character you control to draw a card. Use only once per turn. So it's good in an instance that if you're on turn 5, and let's say you have a 1-drop in your hand that you don't plan on recruiting, well, you can discard it to this and then draw an extra card and maybe hopefully get the character that you need to play. So that's what this card does. Okay, so the other 3 cost plot twist card we play is called At Their Finest. And you can only play this if you have played no other plot twist this turn. So it has to be the first plot twist that you play. But characters you control named Batman or Superman get +2 this turn. So if you have a Batman on the field and a Superman on the field, they get +2/+2. So that's that one. Okay, then for the 4 cost plot twist, we play For the Man Who Has Everything. Now, this card is you search your deck for a Team Superman character card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. If it doesn't share a name with a character you control, discard a card. So if you have a Superman out, you flip this up, you get to search for a Superman without discarding a card. That's pretty much the gist of it. And so that is the Al's World's Finest deck. So, yeah, pretty much... it's a pretty solid deck, and Al's won many games with it before. And I think did I miss any? I think I may have missed... the
Barbara.
Yeah, I did miss the Barbara, didn't I? Let's see did I skip it, or did I just not put it in?
You didn't put it in.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I think I did actually miss a character too. I forgot to mention that these characters, the Barbara Gordon Oracle, yeah, it's the concealed 3-drop that you see on the screen. And what this does is it has a concealed and it has an ability called Substitute. And what Substitute does is if you have a character that is equal or greater than the cost, you can remove that character from the game and put it in its place. So for an example, if you have Metropolis Marvel, the 5-drop Superman, you can remove him to play the Barbara Gordon for free without paying any resource points. And her ability is you get to draw a card every turn. So she really builds up your hand, and you can gain a bunch of cards with her, and that's kind of what she does for the most part. And then the Batman Problem Solver, the card next to it, it's also has concealed optional, and you get to activate, discard a Gotham Knights character, negate a non-ongoing plot twist, and you can only use it once per turn, or use it only during the combat phase. So again, another Batman just negates plot twists essentially. But so that is the deck, and I am just gonna go right into the next deck, which is Spider Friends. Yay! My favorite deck, because he's my favorite character. So I'm going to try to go a little bit fast with this one. So let's just kind of start. Okay, so for the 1-drop characters, we play Aunt May, Golden Oldie. You may discard a character card rather than pay your recruit cost. So kind of like the Lois Lane that I was talking about earlier. So when she enters play, you may search your deck for a card named Spider-Man, reveal it, and put it into your hands. So, yeah, just a way to get your Spider-Man, because obviously the theme with this deck is Spider-Man. And I also forgot to mention that this deck is what is called a Bring Your Own set. And what that means is it's a deck that you choose a set. So in this case, the set is Marvel Team Up, and I can only use cards from that set. So all the cards you see in this deck are from that set Marvel Team Up. Okay, so for the 2-cost characters, we play Black Cat 9 Lives, which is a 2/3, and it has evasion. Now, a lot of the cards in this deck have evasion, and what that is I can choose to stun the character, and at the start of the recovery phase, I get to recover it. So but you're asking, well, why would you want to stun your own character? Well, because she has an effect that when she becomes stunned, you may discard a card if you do draw a card. And so that's what she does. And then Next is the 2-drop Blade. He is activate discard a card. The next time target exhausted character would ready this turn. Instead, it remains exhausted. Just a way to... So this is... People called this deck Spider Stall because you want to stall until you get to like turn 7 or turn 8. And, you know... And then there's a big payoff at turn 7 and 8 we'll get to in a little bit. Okay, so for 3-cost characters, we have Darkhawk Chris Powell. He is reservist and he also has evasion. Pay to attack this turn. Target character loses flight this turn. So that's a theme with my Spider Friends deck. And that you pay attack and they get effect. So pay to attack, he becomes a 3/4 now. That's pretty much what it means. And the problem is with that Batman card that I mentioned in the last deck, the 6-drop one. Yeah, he just ruins all these payment effects. It's like I can only use him once. He can negate it, once. So it becomes kind of problematic for my deck. So that's why it's kind of a good matchup in a way too. But anyway, so Maddie Franklin, reserve webhead. She also has evasion. Pay to attack. Exhaust target visible character. Uses power only if Maddie Franklin is attacking and only once per turn. So that's kind of what she does. And next we got to the 4-cost characters. We run 4. Now this is where a majority of our Spider-Man characters are. And we run Spider-Man, Spider-Hulk, which is, we run 2 of that. And he has, all these Spider-Men have substitute. So similar to like the Barbara Gordon, I can play a Spider-Man and then substitute it if it's ready. But, yeah. So anyway, Spider-Man, Spider-Hulk, what he does, he comes to play with a Cosmic counter, and then when he attacks, he gets +2/+2 this turn. So, yeah, he just becomes a big beater. And I just realized reading this, I always thought it was just for the attack, but I didn't realize it was for the turn. So if it's my initiative, we've been kind of playing this wrong, actually. So when I attack, he gets +2/+2 for the turn. So if you try to attack him, he's still a 9/9. So I just realized that. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Spider-Man, Parasitic Host. Discard 2 cards. The next time target character would ready this turn. Instead, it remains exhausted. Use only once per turn. And he has concealed optional as well. And so we run 1 copy of Spider-Man, the Amazing Bagman. Whenever he becomes stunned, you get the target opponent exhausted ready character he controls. So just 1 copy, nothing, too great about him. Just a nice. I actually just wanted to have him in here because he's the Bagman, and I wanted to be fun and cute. So, okay, so we run 2 copies of Spider-Man, the Sensational Spider-Man. Pay 7 attack. Exhaust target character will cost 3 or less. Use only if you control another Spider Friends character. Okay, so here's an example that I just want to talk about really quick. So that no-cost Superman, yeah, I can't use the Spider-Man's effect on him, because he has no cost, right? So, yeah, just can't use it. So that's why that Superman's really good. Okay, so for the 5-drops, we run 4 copies of Phil Ulrich, Green Goblin, Lunatic Laugh. He has an ability pay to attack, stun any number of target non-defending characters with combined cost 2 or less. Use if only he is attacking and only once per turn. And he has flight and range, so he can attack whoever he wants, which is pretty nice. Michael Collins, Deathlock. The Schizophrenic Cyborg. Pay 5 attack. He gains invulnerability this turn. Use only if he's in combat. So invulnerability again, he just doesn't take the stun damage. And for the 6-drops, we have Daredevil, New Kingpin. Pay 2 attack this turn. Exhaust target visible character. Use only if Daredevil is attacking. We run 3 copies of that. Wolverine, Knucklehead. Now, he's a really fun one. While you control Spider-Man, Wolverine can't be stunned while attacking. So, yep, that's what he does. Okay, so now we come to one of the signature cards of the deck. Spider-Man, Stark's protege. He has loyalty. You pay X attack this turn. Exhaust target character with attack X or less. Use only once per turn. Yep, so he can exhaust anybody by paying any attack. And for the 8-drops, we play Sentry, Golden Guardian of Good. He has loyalty. Pay 1 attack this turn. Target character gets -1 attack this turn. So you can pay 17 attack and give somebody 17 attack, or split it up any way you want. Okay, so now we actually play an artifact in this deck, which is Ego Gem. And whenever equipped character becomes stunned, you may return it to its owner's hand. An equipped character has activate, draw a card used only during the combat phase. And then the next card is Empire State University. Activate, exhaust the Spider Friends character you control. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put one into your hand and the other at the bottom of your deck. So, good way to get cards in your hands, pretty much. Okay, for 2 cost plot twists, we play Indebted to play discard a card. If you discarded a card named Spider-Man, search your deck for a Spider Friends character card. Otherwise, search your deck for a card named Spider-Man and reveal that card and put it into your hand. So another way just to search our Spider-Man cards or our Spider Friends cards if we need them, depending on the situation. All right, so for 3 cost plot twists, we play Against All Odds. If all characters you control share at least one team affiliation, target attacker or defender you control gets -3 +3 this attack. So -3 attack +3 defense. 3 copies of those. Big Leagues, if all characters you control share at least one affiliation, target attacker you control gets +4 attack this attack. Like we play Big Leagues in the Injustice game deck, so that pretty much says it all. Gift Wrap, to play, exhaust a character named Spider-Man you control. Exhaust any number of target characters if their combined cost is less than or equal to that Spider-Man's cost. And then Spider Signal, target Spider Friends attacker or defender you control gets -2 +2 or +2 -2 this attack. Okay, and that is it. Yep, that's the deck. And what we'll do is we're going to take another short break here, but and we'll be back in a little bit. So, Al, did we have anybody from the chat yet?
Well, I mean, Jordan did say that the bromance is real.
Okay, nice.
And so D. Leon did say something. Reservists probably shouldn't be put more characters in the resource row.
Oh, okay.
On the reservist thing.
Okay, so just we'll be back in a couple minutes. So as we get ready, so yeah. Okay, so this game we're going to go a little bit faster, so we're not going to explain everything because this is our grudge match, and we're going to be more casual with this one, so this is just for all the marbles, right?
For the bragging rights for the day.
So I said I would do one video that explains everything, and which I did. And this is just going to be one game that we're just going to play without going step by step through everything. So, okay, so let's get started. Last game of the night. Okay, so you want to determine who goes first, and we're rolling to see who gains or who chooses to go first. Okay, let me just check the camera. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna roll a 6. A 3. Okay, so would you like to take the initiative?
Sure.
Okay, so Al's going to start with the initiative. All right, let's go. Whew. Oh wait, you go first. That's right.
I'm gonna risk it.
You're gonna risk it for the biscuit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll mulligan. I shouldn't. It's a decent hand, but still gonna do it. Oh look, the same cards practically. I mulligan a 4 and a 5 drop, and I get a 4 and a 5 drop. All right, so.
You ready, sir?
Yep, let's go. Alfred, okay. Here comes the play exhausted. Okay, play face down. And I got no 1 drop, so
Okay.
recovery.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I have the initiative. Oop, draw 2. Ooh, I got lucky there. Okay. I play Blade. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No 2 drop. Interesting. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to activate Empire State University. I'm going to exhaust the Spider Friends character I control. Look at the top 2, put 1 in my hand. Okay, I choose to put this card in my hands. This is the bottom. And that's it. Your attack.
I'm not going to.
Okay, so we go to recovery.
Mm-hmm.
So that. You gain the initiative now. Ah, yes, Barbara Gordon. And usually we use like a dice or something to show that she's activated the ability. So, actually, do you have any gems with you?
No.
No? Okay.
That's fine.
That's okay. Alright, so formation. That's your formation,
Mhm.
I'm assuming? Okay. Play that. And then I will play Darkhawk. And go to formation. I will form like that. And it is your turn.
I'm gonna go ahead and activate him.
Okay, so activate your returns to your hand, and he gets to search for a plot twist or an equipment, but there's no equipment in the deck, so bat signal. Okay.
And go.
All right. My attack.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go ahead and activate Empire State University on Blade. So I will look at the top 2. Ooh. So it's going to be my initiative. So I will take that, put that on, and I'll attack you directly for 5.
Sure.
First damage, turn 3. All right, recovery.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. And my initiative. Draw 2. Okay, so play resource down. And I will play my Spider Hulk, so he gets a cosmic counter. Here, you want to just keep that.
Mhm.
Use it. And I will form like that. Go ahead.
Okay. Like that. I'm going to go ahead and draw a card for Miss Gordon.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then I'm going to play 4-drop Superman.
You revealed your 7 drop.
Mhm.
Okay. And
Then I'm going to play Team Up.
okay, the hookup. So he teams up Team Superman and Gotham Knights, and then activate the effect, discard a card, draw discard a character, draw a card. I did not like that laugh, sir.
And then do that.
Bat signal? Okay.
Mhm.
Metropolis Marvel.
And go ahead.
Okay. Spider-Man will declare an attack on the Superman.
Actually, go.
Okay. When he attacks, he gets +2/+2. So he is currently a 9/9.
Okay.
All right, and I will pass priority to you.
I've got nothing.
Okay, so I'm a 9/9. So this is where this card is really problematic. So 9 minus 2 is 2, plus nothing. You take 2.
Me.
I hate that, but he doesn't stun me back since I'm a 9 defense to his 7 attack. So okay, I'm gonna go ahead and activate Empire State University Exhausting Blade. So look at 2. That will definitely go in my hands. And attack you for 5 directly.
Sure.
At 38. And it is your turn.
Okay.
Your attack.
Nothing.
Okay. Recovery. Alright. Draw 2. And it's your initiative.
Okay, let's see here.
Oh, that's bad.
Just for the fun of it, do Alfred 14 up.
Mm-hmm.
Draw for Barbara just for the fun of it. Substitute her for another one.
Yeah. So, she was ready, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't ready. So she gets removed from the game. She's not in the block. So.
Draw for her.
So yeah, that's a nice little combo with Barbara.
And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reveal Candace Labs.
Yep.
Bring up Metropolis Marvel.
Okay. So he gets +1/+1 for each character, each opposing character. So that's 3. Not a bad turn, sir. He's gonna form like that. Okay. I go.
Yep.
All right. Turn 5.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll play Deathlock, Michael Collins, and doesn't matter where I go. I'll just put that. Okay. Your attack.
Okay. Superman. Gun to attack into him.
Okay. He declares an attack in there.
Mm-hmm.
In response to that, I'll. Do I want to activate that? You know what? Tag is legal.
Okay.
Alright. Alright, you have priority first, so is there anything you'd like to play? Probably not, because you don't need to do anything right
Nope.
now. Okay, I will give him reinforcement.
Sure.
And then I will activate Empire State University, like we talked to. I will take that. That goes the bottom. And I take 2.
Okay.
Because I decided to reinforce him. Stunned. Oh. He gets 1 more counter because I have control 4.
We go here.
Okay, so here is a good example of how I cannot make the attack legal, which I'm going to. So he has evasion, so I'm going to pay 3. 1, 2, 3, and evade him, and he's going to recover at the start of the recovery phase. So the attack's not legal, sir.
Here.
That attack is legal.
Okay.
Alright, you have priority first.
Mm-hmm. I've got nothing right now.
I don't think I'm going to do anything either. So 12 minus 7 is 5 plus 4 is 9. And he loses his constant counter. Sad.
Your turn.
Well. Crap baskets. Yeah, go to recovery.
Sure.
So since I evaded him, he recovers right away. And I think I lose blade. This way it comes out. Okay, so now I have the initiative. Draw 2. Alright, I'll play that, and I'll play Wolverine. And So Wolverine, while I control Spider-Man, he can't be stunned while attacking, so perfect time to play him because I have the initiative this turn. So, all right, your turn, sir.
Okay. So let's see here. Do this for team up.
Yep.
Oh, come on. Gordon.
And he's doing this before he places his resource because he's gonna maybe find like another card that he can put in his resource for. Oh, he is.
Well, this is. I'm trying. Does it have to be Superman? Or can I get the Batman with it?
Are you gonna play that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, are you playing it now or before you play your resource?
Before I play my research.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so he decides to search for Batman, puts it in his hand. Now he has to discard a card. So, okay, now you go to your resource step. So, and he's got the Batman. Oh boy, here we go. Okay, is that your form, Nation? Okay. Wolverine is going to attack Metropolis Marvel.
Okay.
Attack legal?
Yep.
Alright. Attacking.
Okay.
Alright, you're at 12-12, and I'm at 13-12, so I don't need to do anything right now, so I pass him. Okay, so you're going to power up. So you're at 13-13. So my 13 attack still beats your 13 defense.
Replace Candace Lambs.
So when he replaces it, you put the top card. And you're giving him another +1/+1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that makes you a 14-14.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to play Big League, so he gets +4 attack. You have any response to that? Alright, he has Bat Got Your Tongue, which is negates this by exhausting the Gotham Knights. Okay, I will choose to do Spider Signal, and I will choose to give him +2 attack, -2 defense.
Okay.
You got any response to that?
Nope.
Okay, so that puts my attack to the 15 to your 14. You got anything else?
Nope.
Okay, so we go to damage, and 15 minus 14 is 1 plus 5 is 6, so you take 6.
Sure.
Okay, so you're at 32, and I don't get stunned because he can't get his stun while attacking. Okay, so Deathlock will declare an attack into Superman.
Tax legal.
Okay.
I got nothing.
Oh, I got priority first, so I have nothing.
I've got nothing.
Okay, so 9 minus 7 is 2.
Mm-hmm.
So 2. I am sad because that Superman sucks, but he's going to go away this turn. So declare a direct attack for 7.
Sure.
And I will declare a direct attack for 5. Alright, your attack step.
Recovery.
Recovery?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you're not gonna attack with Batman?
Yeah, sure.
You can attack Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Just get in some extra damage. So, all right, your attack's legal, by the way.
I got
so,
nothing.
Exhausting. All right. Okay, 7. Okay. Do I want to do that?
Sure you don't.
Sure, I don't. Is it worth it? No. Okay, so 12 minus 7 is 5 plus 4 is 9. 27 stun. Alright, recovery now?
Yep.
Alright, so I get to recover Spider-Man. And ready all this stuff. Alright, now you have the initiative.
Mm-hmm.
So, alright, draw 2.
Okay. So I'm going to draw for Barbara.
Alright.
Discard for team up.
Actually, I didn't realize that. We should probably put a dice on that to show that you used it too.
So I'm going to play this card face down. And then, question is, Brandon, do I have the card that I need to play this card? That's the question.
What, do you have another Cadmus Labs?
Oh, it depends. Do you think I have another Candace Lamb?
I don't know. I kind of think you do because you would not have replaced the other one if you didn't have it. That's what I think. Or you could have the card that makes me not attack with somebody.
I do.
I knew you did. I knew it. You can't fool me. Well, you have to wait before you recruit that. You have to activate Cadmus Labs first. There we go. Because if you don't, you have to KO him. So, all right, gets a cosmic counter. All right, formation.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking about this one. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna recruit my 7-drop Spider-Man. So that means I gotta KO this Spider-Man because I can't have the same Spider-Man in play. And go to formation. And I will form like that.
At 27, I'm 18. I'm going to go into
With
Superman.
okay. Attack is not legal. I'm gonna evade.
Okay.
Take 3.
I'm going to go into the gentleman right there.
With that one?
Yep.
Okay. Attack's legal.
Okay.
Alright. You have priority first.
So you'd be the one getting stunned, right?
I would only be getting stunned right now.
Okay,
Yes.
I've got nothing.
Okay, I'm gonna activate Empire.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I'll take that one. And I'll pay 5 attack. So I know this says -5, -5, but I'll use it as a dice. Okay. So I gain invulnerability. So 12 minus 10 is 2. So I just take 2.
I'm thinking,
You thinking? As of right now, I'm only taking 2.
because what are you going to do with that Spider-Man? Fine, take 2.
Alright, I take 2.
Okay, So I'm going to activate him,
Okay.
saying that Spider-Man can attack this turn.
Okay.
Okay. Then we go Batman into Wolverine.
All right. I'm gonna use Spider-Man's effect and pay 12 attack to exhaust the character with attack less.
Nope.
Wait. X or less. Okay, so you're gonna activate Batman's effect to negate it. Okay.
Yep.
So you're declaring attack where? Wolverine.
Wolverine.
All right, attack is lethal.
And I'm going to play as a buffer to me. Play.
You can't play that, right?
Nope. I haven't played a plot
You
twist.
haven't played a plot twist?
Nope.
Oh, I guess I was confused because you were doing so many other things. Okay.
So he's a
Maybe.
14.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
So, 14, huh? Well, I'll be -3 + 3, so it's 15 defense.
Nope.
Okay. Ooh, he had a bat that return. So you're 14?
Mm-hmm.
-2 + 2? -2 + 2?
Sure, why not?
Okay, I don't hit you back, but
Right.
but it just goes pink. Okay, Wolverine will declare an attack in the Metropolis Marvel.
Actually,
Got nothing.
I got nothing.
Okay, so you take 6. And I can't attack with Spider-Man, so I guess we gotta recover, right? Okay, so he comes back because I evaded him, and then I just recover 1 dude. And now it is my initiative. Yep. Okay, draw 2.
Oh, come on.
Alright, here we go. We're gonna play the Sentry, my 8-drop. And I'm good with my form like that.
Okay.
Actually, he gets another one.
So let's see. I'm going to draw for Barbara.
Mhm.
Then I'm going to do this for this. Where are you? Team them up again.
Okay.
Do that.
You're gonna use the other one now?
Yeah.
Maybe I have to use. I mean, it's not the worst.
It's not the best either.
I mean, you got. We might be going to a turn 9 at this point. Okay, attack.
Sure.
Alright, alright, here we go. I think I'm gonna see what happens here, but Wolverine and Darkhawk are going to declare a team attack on your Superman.
No.
Targeting who?
Wolverine.
Okay, Wolverine can attack. Alright, let's have these two declare a team attack into Metropolis Marvel.
Okay.
Okay, so when I team
In response to that,
declare the team attack?
yes,
Oh, you're gonna.
he can't attack.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So these two are still gonna team attack?
Yep.
Okay, so when I team attack, I'm gonna add 9 plus 5, which is 14.
Okay.
So 14 going in.
into my
13.
crank. So I, fine.
Alright, you taking it?
Mm-hmm.
So you take. Okay, so when you team attack too, I forgot to mention that when you declare a team attack, it's only dealing this damage and not the breakthrough damage. So my 14 beat your 13.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're gonna take 5. And who would you like to stun back?
You take 5.
I do take 5 indeed. So you made these two non-attack, right?
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and activate Empire State on Wolverine. Wow, that's really bad. That was really bad. Okay. Sentry is gonna declare an attack into Superman.
Tax legal.
Alright. I will pass priority.
I've got nothing.
Okay, so 17 minus 16 is 1 plus you take 8, you're at -1. Alright, and Spidey can't attack, so go ahead.
Let's see if I can do this. So I have to go into Wolverine at this point. I'm into Wolverine.
Alright, tax legal.
Okay. So do 12 to you. So I'll give him +3. +3.
Okay. Yeah, because you control Superman, so
Mhm.
you got it.
Okay.
Okay.
You got anything? Okay.
Okay, put that in this one.
Then
I have nothing for that.
another +3.
Sure.
Give you -2.
Give me -2?
Yep.
Okay. I'm just going in big hit here.
Another -2.
Oh my goodness.
That's it.
Okay, so you're at a 18 to my 10. So that's 8, 14. I go to 3. We got a recovery now?
That's game.
Oh, he's stunned by the way. Yeah, alright. Good game, sir.
Too bad.
Oh, we could have gotten it to 9. What would have been my next 2 cards? Nothing really, but. Alright, good game, sir. So, okay, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back after this, but we're almost done. So, hold on to your butts. All right, Al, you are on the internet.
Hi, everybody. I'm Alessandro. I'm Brandon's best friend. Like he said before, he actually got me into this game. When it first came out, we've been friends for 20 plus years at this point. So, any rivalry we have when it comes to Batman or Superman or
Hey, I've always liked Batman. It's Superman and Spider-Man that we've had a rivalry.
Okay, so I mean, with that game, yes, Brennan did win the game on that one. The one card that actually was missing on the gameplay was Supergirl. If I had Supergirl on the field, it would have made it a lot harder for Brennan to take the game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a Superman pack and see what we got. So here we go. This is a pack that I'm going to be go ahead and opening. Let's see what I got. Now, I'm hoping that the other Metropolis Marvel that I'm looking for is in this deck.
Oh, it's not in that set. It's in DC Legends. We're still looking for that. But this is probably... This and the Web of Spider-Man set are probably the worst sets. But you can kind of take a look at it and then maybe show people the cards. Like maybe you can flip it and see what you got.
So I've got...
You can just show. Is that Desaad?
Yep.
Okay. There's that one. Fastback.
Fastback.
I guess that's how you say it.
Silver Banshee.
Silver Banshee. All right.
Professor.
Who is that? Oh, Professor Emil Hamilton. Mm-hmm. Not the good one. There's another one from World's Finest.
Back-to-back plot twist.
Deuce.
Oh, an equipment card. Phantom Zone.
Phantom Zone projector. Yep.
Beautiful Dreamer. Another 8-drop Superman, which is foily.
Ooh, that's a good one, actually. That's the rare one, right? Yeah. That's a pretty good one.
Lex Luthor. Up, up, and away. Light Ray. Steppenwolf. And Supergirl.
Nice. Okay, Al, that's not all. I got something else special for you that I'm going to share with you on stream, so hold on a second.
Okay. Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Okay, so I'm going to try to fit in there a little bit. So, Al, as a big... sorry, I'm going to kind of kneel down a little bit. So, as a big thank you for helping me with my stream, I wanted to give you something special for your cards. So, got you a storage case.
Cool, thank you.
For all his stuff. So, or his Pro Go Cup Organizer. It's essentially like the thing you put like loose screws and stuff in, but you can use it for your decks too.
That's cool.
So, I decided to give you that. So, thanks a lot for helping me out.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. And I think...
Jump out of here.
All right. Want to just move out?
Yep.
Okay. All right, we're doing this way. Okay, so I think that's going to wrap it up today. Thank you for everybody for watching. And, I hopefully you guys learned something about the game and, had fun and learned something new. So, that's about it. And we will hopefully do another stream relatively soon. But my first YouTube stream, I just want to say thank you everybody for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for more Versus System content. And later I'll be doing, we do a podcast every Tuesday with my buddy Robert and Mark. And we're going to start probably posting them on the Brondog Media YouTube channel. So make sure you check that out too. And thanks again for watching and have a good night.